Hey guys, how you going? Okay, here's an update on my garden. These are my potatoes. Now I did have... the snails have been eating my garden, can you tell? Yeah, I had a few leafy potato plants over here. What has happened is the snails have eaten them. They will still grow. There's a good healthy, well, half healthy one still there. I have planted another one over in the corner. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I have been digging potatoes on out of another part of the garden. These are my strawberries, which are now branching off there. We have my tomato plants. And I have another strawberry hiding under here. The tomato plants kind of fell over and they're leaning up against the shade, the cloth, the netting that I've got. So I do have to go and prop them up. Okay, what else have we got in here? The snails actually really attack the garden. So, see how... Oh, it's a bit blurry. Oh, the strawberries are branching off. They actually self-reproduce. Hang on, I'll try and get back to that. Here, how they branch off little red things with leaves on them. They've got little... What are they called? Rhizomaceous, stolomaceous. I think they're rhizomaceous, which means they just shoot new plants out on top of the soil. The ones underneath, I think. I don't know which ones are which. Anyway, I used to know. Tell me something I used to know. Yeah, plenty of tomatoes, right? So I'm going to have to do something with tomatoes. I'm saving jars, by the way. I've got to boil them and sterilise them. We have rosemary here. What else have we got? Okay, we have normal parsley and Italian parsley. Is that... Hang on. I've got celery here. I have celery here. They even ate a lot of the celery. The snails did. But I've got... Okay, I've got salt around the outside of the garden. I have a beer container for the snails to crawl into. And I've also scattered snail and slug pellets around the outside, but underneath the net so my cats don't eat it, because you've got to be careful with snail pellets. Normal parsley, there's the Italian parsley. It's doing much better than the normal parsley. That is a celery. That is my beer thing, and there's snails in there. I ended up cleaning it, so you'll see it nice and clean. Most of my lettuce is gone. Most of my shallots have gone too. Most of the broccoli, they ate a lot of the broccoli, but it's still there. I have a Thai chili plant here, and I think I might have saved one shallot, believe it or not. What, just one shallot? I can't tell if it's shallot or grass growing at the moment, but I found something else too, so I'll show you later on in the video. But my broccoli, my cabbage is still going all right. They ate it, but they didn't get too much. I've also got eggshells. I put everything I could think of that would repel the snails in the garden, including I added more after I took this video, which I'll show you at the end because I did update. More celery. Celery's all around the outside of the garden. I needed marigolds, okay, because marigolds keep pests away. Marigolds are very good for the framing of your veggie garden. That was one thing I did learn in horticulture. There's a broccoli, which isn't looking too good. Yeah, so the parsley, I'm sorry if that's making you swinging too wildly. I realised when I sat down and watched the video that it made me a bit sick watching the swinging around, you know. And that's the netting over the top, which actually holds the tomato plants against the side. So that's the netting I used, mainly for the birds not to get it. And then I went around again, just took another video just to show you exactly like they ate everything. Look what they did to my potatoes. Darn snails and slugs, and they're massive. They are absolutely massive. Some of them can be as long as from your fingertip to the bottom of your wrist. Okay, so here we have, what have we got? Hang on, I've got my finger in front of the camera. That was silly. Okay, let's have a look from here. This is from the back end now. The tomato plants are all up the front, along with, I can't see my strawberries, but they're in there somewhere. Oh, there's one. Then we've got the cabbage, a cabbage, a cabbage, a cabbage, and a cabbage. And we've got celery, 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 and celery. Now this broccoli. Look at my poor broccoli. But it's, look, it's still got leaves on it. As long as it's green and still has leaves on it, and now I've put eggshells all around, fingers crossed this works. What else have we got here? Yep, plenty of celery. The lettuce is completely gone. They ate that. But look, there's the snails in the beer. The snails came, drank the beer, and died. That's what they do. So, a lot of movement in the camera there. Sorry, guys. And yeah, there's weeds all through the garden. Look, you know, it happens. I also, with the potatoes in that container, I did drill holes all through the bottom of the container so that it has drainage, because you need drainage. You can't just put them in a container. You need to drain the container. That's my Thai chili plant, which they still ate a bit of it. Look at the poor broccoli. Look at the poor broccoli. Now that's sad. I think that's one, and that's seemingly hanging in there. They're hanging in there, okay? I did have a lettuce over here somewhere, but that seems to have gone too. I really just... I've got everything going that I can to stop snails and slugs. It's been raining here in Australia, where I am in Australia, on the east coast of Australia, in the outskirts of Sydney, up in the mountains. It's been raining here nearly all summer, and the snails and the slugs are going, they're all over my back screen door. I've had to put salt down on the back step to stop them from coming up. I have put snail pellets under buckets and containers around the outside of the house to try and stop them, because they come in. They slide under the door and come in on the tiles. And I'm, snail trails everywhere. It's awful. Anyway, but we're having a real bad snail problem at the moment. You can see all their little things, because they love living in the cardboard I put in the back to try and help stop the soil running off. Because my logs that I've put here are not straight enough. They don't sit flush on each other, so there's gaps and things. So I had put some cardboard down. The problem is it attracts snails and they love it. So lesson learnt there. And then I have a mint plant outside here. What else have I got in there? Oh, I added stuff because they ate my lettuce. That's the that there. I'm not sure if that is the spring onion that's left, or I don't know, or something down here, but there does look like there's one plant, one little stringy piece of that spring onion. So we'll see. And then I stop it here, and then what do? That's right, I found a piece of garlic in my cupboard that was growing. So I thought, I'm going to plant it, because it already had the shoot hanging out of it. So I thought, yeah, why not? And anything that's growing, whether potatoes, onions, carrots in your fridge, anything that looks like, even shallots. I planted one. I cut the bottom off the lettuce and the top and planted that. And there's my garlic up the top. And let's see if we can see that a bit clearer up the top there. My garlic. There it is, a little sprout sticking out, okay? Now I've put potash around the garden. Now, you can only put potash on certain vegetables, okay? Garlic loves it, sweetens the garlic up. Lettuce loves it, sweetens the lettuce. Not so much potatoes. The tomatoes you can do it around tomatoes, they don't mind. But there are potatoes you cannot, and there's other vegetables you should not put potash on. This is my compost heap. And look what I found growing out of my compost heap. It's either an onion or a shallot. I'm not sure yet, because I've thrown plenty of food scraps in there. I have to wait until it pops up a bit more. It was actually buried. That's why it's all leaning over and curled up, and I actually had to uncover it. And I don't want to dig it up because I don't want to, you know, disturb what's growing there. Whatever, if it's an onion or a shallot, I'm not sure, but we'll find out. See how it's all curled up? Pardon me, there's bugs everywhere eating all the, breaking down all the vegetables in the compost heap. It's a good compost heap. Plenty of food scraps, cardboard, leaves, grass clippings. Yep, sticks. Yep, whatever you can find, all your food scraps, cut them down, chuck them in, keep turning it over and watering it. I've started a new one. Now this just has food scraps underneath and leaves on top, as you can see. The rest of the lettuce, which was dry, and I don't know if it'll grow. But that's where the rest of the lettuce ended up. It just dried out in the fridge, so I didn't eat it quick enough. So that is my garden, and now it's filled with potash as well. And a snail. I'm hoping the potash might stop the slugs as well, because it's very powdery, you know. There's my mint. It's chef's mint. There's my little shallot growing out of the garden. And because I dug most of it out, I thought, look, I'll just cover it back over a little bit, because that's how it was growing. It was completely covered. So see all the sticks and things? This is just my compost heap. It hasn't even broken down properly yet. But it's still got enough nutrients in it to start growing things in it. And you'll find that if you just build a compost heap and let it go. There's the garlic. Fantastic, with all the potash all through. There's the clean beer container for the snails. It's got a little hole in it too in the side, by the way. Enough that I can sit beer in there, but the snails and slugs can crawl in. So look, I'm hoping that all the rest of my plants can handle the potash, because I pretty much sprinkled it everywhere. I'm going to find out the hard way if they can't. But look, unfortunately for me, that's how I learn, the hard way with everything. I planted a shallot, okay, out of my fridge. We'll see how it goes. I planted the lettuce out of my fridge. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if it's going to grow roots. But honestly, it's worth a try. It really is. Anything in your garden that can grow, I mean, anything in your fridge that can grow, sorry, I've got a cat in front of me now. Anything in your fridge that can grow, you can try and plant it in your garden. And so next year I plan to try and make this bigger and add more vegetables, because some of these are going to keep growing no matter what, and others are going to die off. Like the tomatoes will die off. I believe the celery will keep going, because I've had it before. So will the onions. The lettuces will grow through autumn and winter as well, to an extent, and depending on frost and things like that. I'm going to have to get a snow cover for this garden. You can buy a material from the hardware shop that you put over the top, because I've already got all the stakes in there as well. I can just lay over the top of this and it will stop the snow from getting to the plants. So there's always that as well. Anyway, I'm going to keep going, and I will update you as we go on to let you see if these things grow, because look, I'm interested. It's an experiment with me, okay? I'm experimenting by putting the lettuce from my fridge into the garden. Now, it has been in my fridge for a couple of weeks. It dried out and pretty much looked dead. We will see. I'm so bad. I just don't eat things fast enough. For one, I'm only one person. So if I buy a head of lettuce, that's why I like growing it, because I can pick leaves off it and I don't have to pick the whole thing at once. And it's still growing in my garden. It's the same with everything else. I am just one person and I don't eat this much food, you know. So I'm going to have to figure something out. Celery's good in soups, so during winter, which is coming up now, I might be making a lot of soups. I should grow some turnips or parsnips or something as well. But yeah, you can let me know what you think down below, guys. There are a lot of weeds. Look, I took forever trying to get the grass to grow. And when the grass didn't grow on this certain part of my garden, I thought I'll build a garden bed. And what do you know, the grass all came through. Good soil, see? That's what you get. Anyway, guys, you can let me know what you think of my experimental garden. It's on a massive slope, or not a massive slope, but it's on a slope, and I've had to build one end up just to make the garden. So, yeah, you can let me know what you think about all this down below, including my little experiments with lettuce. The garlic should grow, no problem, but I don't know about the shallot and the lettuce. Anyway, we'll see. Okay, guys, I've got a video coming up in a couple of days about missing mysterious disappearances in national parks, so it should be quite good. So tune in for that one, and I'll get it uploaded as soon as I can. Okay, guys, hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, guys, bye.